What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to LetsNot, and welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video. Alrighty guys, so this video the idea for this video actually comes from a viewer, and they're like, hey Let's, I want to see all of the Unite moves ranked. I want to know what the very best Unite moves are and why. So I decided to tackle this one because Unite moves are funny, man. Unite moves, for all intents and purposes, can really help define a character, or sometimes they can just do almost nothing, right? So it's important to know that even if your character has a really bad Unite move, or if I rank a Unite move really, really poorly, it might not be a bad character. I think my best example of this is Lucario. Everybody kind of agrees Lucario's Unite move is really bad. I don't think it's the worst in the game, but he's one of the best characters, if not the best character in the entire game. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and rank all 25 Unite moves in the game from worst to best. There'll be some chapters down there if you only care about a certain Pokemon. And if you guys really, really want, I can kind of like toss it up a little mini tier list, if you will. But this is more of a ranking video than a tier list video. But I will have just a static image at the end with a little bit of tiers in there, just to make it easier for anybody who needs to like take a screenshot or snapshot of it to get an idea of who's got the best Unite moves in Pokemon Unite. All right, so going over 25 Pokemon, let's jump on into it. All right, last and I guess least is gonna be Snorlax. I was gonna say like last and certainly not least, but then I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, actually his Unite move kind of sucks. So Snorlax, his Unite move is called Power Nap. Basically, the way this is gonna work is you fall asleep. When the second you fall asleep, you're actually going to stun everybody for a little bit, like throw them up in the air, and then you're going to do damage over time, and you're just going to heal, and then nobody can like hit you with any stuns or anything like that, right? You'll become immune to all those. Overall, this kind of sucks. The damage it deals is super low, and you have to take yourself out of the fight, which is one of the most important things to realize kind of why this Unite move is bad, because like a lot of characters can use their Unite moves and then kind of still be a part of the fight or still be in the fight, right? Because they're very, very fast. But no, to use your Unite move, you're basically out of the fight, and it's really only good for kind of like holding a point to stop scoring. But like if somebody's got a big enough score shield, the damage over time that you're not doing, that you are doing with Snorlax's Unite move, isn't really enough to stop them from scoring anyway. So again, probably the worst ult in the game. And I guess it should be pointed that it should be said that you can also roll over to deal a little bit of damage. Again, the damage is super poor, as you guys are seeing in the clip right now in the background. So yeah, Snorlax, unfortunately, buddy, you're a great Pokemon still, but your Unite move is bad. It's really bad. All right, next is, and I know you guys know that on this channel I kind of love to hate on Garchomp, but it's Garchomp. So Garchomp will take the spot number 24 out of 25 on our list. And here's the thing with Garchomp, is his Unite move is not actually that bad. Like as far as damage numbers and all that, it's just impossible to aim the thing. So like when I got this clip here for you guys, it was such a pain in the butt to get this clip just because this thing is so hard to aim. Like here it looks like it actually works pretty well, right? But no, man, there are so many times that I tried to do this and just missed. And then like you're just off in left field, super far away from the fight because you mistimed or mispredicted where your opponent was going to move, and then you wasted at least a third of your Unite move, right? Because every hit you miss is a ton of damage wasted. So yeah, not ideal. So Garchomp, sorry buddy, you just need some help, man. It's super hard to use, and keep in mind for this ranking, how hard the Unite move is to use will be something that I'm considering, right? So Garchomp, just because it's so hard to use, man, you're going to be spot number 24 on our list. All right, spot number 23, another Pokemon that loves to sit in the bottom tiers of pretty much every streamer's tier list, right there with Garchomp. We've got Slowbro, man. And Slowbro, he's got the same problem with his Slow Beam that Snorlax has. Is yes, you're taking an opponent out of the fight, but you're also not doing anything. It deals very, very low damage, right? Because you'll see that it does deal continued damage to whatever you're hitting, and you can't be stunned and stuff. But you're also not doing anything. You're sitting there holding it in place. So while yes, you're taking out whoever their Pokemon is from the fight, ideally their highest damage dealer or somebody very specific from the fight, you're also out of the fight. So like it's like you're stunning yourself to do a tiny amount of damage. So again, it can work okay with a very coordinated team, but like in a 1v1 obviously does nothing. And really in just most matches this Unite move will fall short. Not only that, but it's very hard to aim, and like if you're in a big busy team fight, it's super important to make sure you hit the right target with Slow Beam, and a lot of times you're going to hit the wrong target. And that could mean the entire team fight, right? Because now your tank is out because you're the Slowbro, and let's say you hit I don't know, I want to say maybe one of their flex rolls, maybe their Crustle. He's just sitting up in the air. Their main tank's probably still doing all the tanking, and they're fine just letting you have that Crustle hanging out there. So not ideal, man, but poor Slowbro, man. Slowbro needs a buff. Slowbro really does need a buff. Like, all of his kit just keeps getting nerfed. They keep nerfing Surf, dude. I feel bad for Slowbro. All right, next on the list, we've got Lucario. Again, probably the best character in the entire game of Pokemon Unite, just as far as consistency, power. But his Unite move sucks. It takes like 30 years to go off, right? And it does damage at an incredible range, right? And it also makes Power Up Punch a little better, but people aren't running Power Up Punch right now because Power Up Punch got super duper nerfed. So yeah, but there was like this cool, I guess there's this cool tech combo where you can like launch one off, then use a Power Up Punch, and that'll actually make your Unite move stronger. Again, really, 99% of the time, the only thing this is ever good for is trying to steal a Zapdos or steal a Dreadnought. And 99% of the time, you're going to fail to steal those. But for that 1% that you actually succeed to steal the Zapdos and steal the Dreadnought with the crazy hard to time Unite move, it's cool. It's cool. You'll win that 1% of matches because of this Unite move, but the vast majority of the time it deals almost no damage and really makes almost no effect on the game overall. So, sorry Lucario, but I guess this is kind of how they balance you because you're already good enough without your Unite move. So, yeah. All right, number 21, Gengar. Gengar, so he's got a Unite move. He doesn't care about it. Like, even when like he first came out in the game and was super busted with the whole Hex combo, the whole Hex reset, right? It was cool that he had a Unite move, but he never really used it. So his Unite move is called Phantom Ambush. Basically, what it makes you do is you dive into the ground, you disappear for a while, kind of like Talonflame's Fly, actually, where you go up in the air, right? And then you pop up and deal a little bit of damage. Except you don't deal very much damage. It's not very much. Like, you do some AoE damage, like, so area of effect, but it doesn't really do much damage. And a lot of times, as a Gengar, I've seen Gengars just use the Unite move to run away. And not a bad thing. So running away or chasing to finish off somebody who's almost dead is okay. But I mean, you can already kind of teleport with your Shadow Ball shenanigans, with your Dream Eaters, with your Hexes. Like, you've already got weird ways to kind of disengage. So his Unite move just feels out of place. It really doesn't feel like it does much of what it needs to do. And it just feels really, really underwhelming anytime you bring it into a team fight. So, sorry, Gengar. But, you know, as a week 1 player of Pokemon Unite, I don't like Gengar very much, man. He definitely ruined the game in a lot of ways the first week the game came out. So forget you, Gengar. All right, next on the list, number 20 is going to be Ninetales. So Ninetales is one of those Pokemon where its Unite move really doesn't bring any utility, right? You just push the button and it deals damage. Some of those Pokemon are really better than others, and the problem with Ninetales is that its Unite move needs to have your opponents frozen to get all of its damage. So like, it only deals roughly half damage 90% of the time, because a lot of times when you pop your Unite move, you really can't be in a place to guarantee all of your opponents are going to be frozen. Now, with Mamoswine being out, it's a little better because he can also freeze people. So that's just a higher chance that more things are going to be frozen. But overall, it hinges too much of its damage. Like, again, it's almost like half, if I remember the numbers, on the opponents being frozen. So if they're not frozen, it just doesn't work. And worse yet, it was actually bugged for the longest time to where it wasn't actually even dealing bonus damage to frozen enemies. Like, so it just sucked. It just sucked really bad for like the first couple months of the game, and nobody knew because they all just thought it sucked. So again, man, I think it's really bad. What I really want to see them do is do like, what is it? Anna, or no, it's May from Overwatch. Make that Ninetales alt, right? Where she throws an actual snow globe and it just freezes everybody. That would be an incredible alt. So developers, that's how you fix Ninetales. And you make it like unique instead of just push this button and deal some damage. All right. Number 19 is, this one kind of hurts my heart because he's one of my 2 favorite characters in the game, Greninja. But man, he's got a weird ultimate. So basically the way that Greninja works is you throw a giant water shuriken in the ground, then it sits there for a while, does nothing, and then it explodes, and then you go to that area, like you jump to wherever you launch your ult, versus Cinderace, who just launches to distance. Greninja actually jumps into wherever he launches it, right? But you know, the main issue I've got with it is it takes so long to go off, A, and B, Greninja's pretty glass cannon-y, right? So sometimes you'll jump in and you basically have to run Buddy Barrier on Greninja because you're jumping right in with your ultimate every time, right? So you'll jump in and sometimes you'll just die immediately if you don't have that Buddy Barrier to protect you, because again, he's pretty fragile, right? So it's not great. It doesn't work super well with this kit. It can pair well with Surf if you do get them low enough, but just your Unite move alone isn't dealing enough damage to get people into surf reset range. So like you're going to have to deal other damage. So like it can be okay, but it takes really long to go off. It's kind of easy to dodge at least the second damage hit, because the first damage hits when it hits the ground. The second damage hits when it explodes. So it can be really easy to dodge that. And then you're just left right in the middle of your enemy's team. And if you didn't damage them enough, you're super duper dead. So Greninja, great Pokemon, but his Unite move is super underwhelming, and it works weird with this kit, especially if you're running the Water Shuriken Greninja, which I don't really recommend you do. Then it really works poorly with your kit, because the only point of being close is to being able to get those surf resets, right? So if you do run Water Shuriken Greninja, his Unite move gets even worse. All right, number 18 is going to be Talonflame. Talonflame, in the hands of an expert in like master rank play, can be so good. Like this ultimate can go way higher up in the rankings, because it's like a tech ultimate, right? It's not necessarily an ultimate made to do a lot of damage. It's an ultimate made to position and tactical and to strategize, right? To use tactics, tacticize. It's a tacticizing ult. That's a word, right? Tacticize. Now I'm thinking of cactus. All right. Anyway, we're off track. Anyway, but so the point of Flame Slash, nice. Flame Sweep is that it's basically going to push stuff. And it's going to push you and the enemies and deal a little bit of damage, right? But the problem is again, this one is mostly ranked high because I'm considering kind of your normal player, and this thing is really hard to aim, right? You hit any wall whatsoever with your wing, you can just get stuck on that wall and you just stop moving, right? So it's really hard to aim. You need kind of a long field to push people, so either pushing them back into your goal, pushing something back into your team. It's really hard to use because, especially if you're trying to push something back into your team, it means you have to be in the enemy team. So like, the way I guess you could do it is you would fly in and then ult whatever their squishy things are into your team, so that hopefully you can get a kill off really quick in the team fight and then put your enemy at a 4v5. But again, it's really hard to aim. You need long lines, so you basically need to be in a lane. Like, it doesn't work as good in Zapdos fight because there's a lot of walls, right? So you can't move things as far. So overall, man, it's okay. It's got really cool uses, but for the average player, it's going to be bad most of the time. The damage it deals as well is nothing to write home about. It's not really great damage. So yeah, there you guys have it. All right. Next on our list, we've got Machamp. Machamp suffers from the exact same problem as Talonflame in that his ultimate can be hard to use, especially for your average player. So basically the way that Machamp works is his Unite move is going to give you a big buff to attack, defense, and special defense, right? And then whenever you choose, as long as you get your timing right, you can unleash basically a very boosted close combat. So that's the move that just launches a bunch of punches, and the last punch does extra damage. So if you can, and it's got a pretty thin range, just like the move close combat, right? But if you can catch 3 or 4 enemies in there in that big hit, you can actually deal a ton of damage. You can kill, you can wipe an entire team with it, right? Like even here in the clip, you see me catch a couple people with it. Or actually, I think, yeah, in the clip, what I do here is first I buff myself up, then I kill the Slowbro, and then I catch the Sylveon in it, right? So again, that's the important thing to remember. With Machamp, you have to think when you use your ultimate. A lot of Pokemon in this game, you don't have to think when you use your ultimate, right? It just, you hit the button and it goes. Machamp's a little trickier because you have to try and keep your ult up as long as you possibly can, get all those hits in, and then at the last possible second, do your super punch, right? Like the dude from like Saitama from One Punch Man. Like that, except not one punch and like a million punches. So I guess it's nothing like Saitama, but oh well. But yeah, really good move, tons of damage, really hard to use. And if you activate it and you die before you use all your punches, you still used your ult, so it kind of sucks. So keep that in mind. If you do use it, make sure that you won't die in the process. And Machamp's pretty tanky, but again, I've definitely had it happen before where I hit the ult, I was just trying to punch at people, trying to save those punches for the last second, and I die, right? I get killed, so be careful for that one. All right, next is going to be Pikachu. Pikachu's got an interesting ult because, and it's going to be number 16 on our list, by the way, because it's a good ult. Like, it does a lot of damage, but basically the way that it works is anybody within like this little circle of Pikachu will get smacked by just lightning strikes, right? And those deal good damage, but they have to be pretty close. Like, the range is pretty small, and Pikachu's pretty fragile. So if you're like in the middle of a big team fight, it's very possible that you're trying to get this ult off, that your Pikachu will just get destroyed before you finish your ult. And I've had this happen to me. I've done this to opponents where they get this ult off, and then you just focus down that Pikachu, and it's just dead before it gets full value out of its ult. And that's the main reason it's here. Like, it's got a good ult. Like, it can deal good damage if you can get the whole ult out, and you can get it in the middle of an enemy team. But by being in the middle of the enemy team with your small range, you risk dying yourself and losing a lot of value. So again, another ult that's very, very good to pair with Buddy Barrier because you need that extra health to kind of get in deep and deal that damage. Okay, number 15, Venusaur. So Venusaur's biggest problem, and again, it's also one of those Pokemon where you push a button and it deals damage, so it's super easy to use, but a lot of the damage is like from, it has to be like farther away. And let me explain. So as we see here in the clip, right, Venusaur launches basically a seed, and then that seed explodes into 4 little seeds. So if you're, for example, hitting a target that's in the very middle of your zone of your hit, that first seed will hit your target. It'll deal like 2,500 damage or something at max level. Those other 4 seeds, if your target stands still, will not hit them, right? Meaning that like if you just hit one target with this and only one of your seeds hits, you're dealing like a quarter of the damage that a normal solar beam attack would deal. So it's not great. I mean, the fact that it decreases movement speed and gives you some cooldown for your other moves, all that stuff is fine. Like that's good stuff. But you really have to use this into a group of opponents if you're going to get full value out of it. The damage just doesn't make sense a lot of times. And again, most of the time, all 4 of those extra seeds aren't going to hit, making this Unite move good, but really middle ground, like not great. So Venusaur will take number 15 with its ultimate. All right, next, Absol. So Absol, again, has one of those cool Unite moves that's super easy to use. You click a button and it kills stuff, right? But I guess with Absol, just make sure you click it earlier in the fight than otherwise, because if you get stunned and CC'd, you're just going to die super fast because you're super, super fragile. But basically, the beauty of Absol's Unite move that kind of sets it apart from some of the other damage-dealing Unite moves is that you become invincible. You literally disappear. And any Unite move that can just make you disappear and become invincible while you're doing damage is great, because you're not taking any damage, right? So that's one thing that I really, really like of Absol's is you jump in, you do a bunch of slashes, and nobody can hit you during that time, which is important because otherwise you would take so much damage and likely die during or right after your Unite move. So it's a good Unite move, does a lot of damage, and you take no damage yourself. Now, if only Absol could get a tiny bit more health and actually be relevant in kind of the Masters meta, I'd be all for it, because Absol's a fun Pokemon to play, man. It's a fun Pokemon to play. All right, number 13, another Unite move that makes you invincible. Eldegoss. So Eldegoss, same thing. It makes you invincible. It doesn't really deal that much damage, but basically the way that Eldegoss ultimate works, as we see here now in the clip, right, is you kind of go into a puffball, you float around in the sky, and then you crash down, right? And when you crash down, if an opposing Pokemon is hit, it kind of gets shoved and you deal some damage to it. And you also deal damage, you also restore HP to Pokemon that you hit with it. So the damage that deals, not great. That shouldn't be your focus. The fact that it shoves people, that's a little more valuable. But the main thing is the healing, right? You yourself go invincible for a little while, right? So now if they were focusing you to try and get you out of the fight, they can't. And now you're going to be a threat for a longer portion of that fight. And then you drop down and heal the damage they're doing to your teammates. Again, it's a very good ult. It's a very good ult. So it ranks number 13 in my list, just because the others seem to be a little better. But Eldegoss's ult is definitely a strong ult that can definitely swing a team fight. All right, number 12. Another click button to profit ultimate, right? So, and that's going to be Cinderace. So Cinderace's ultimate is going to be called Blazing Bicycle Kick. I get that it's a mouthful, right? But again, it's just going to launch a giant fireball. That's it. It launches a giant fireball in an area, and then after you use it, you get faster, and you get really fast. Like Cinderace after this ultimate moves very, very quick. But again, it's like the simplest ult to understand. It's great for stealing Dreadnoughts. It's great for stealing Zapdos. The animation's very fast. It deals a very good chunk, like a very respectable chunk of damage, and you launch it in an area. Super easy ult to understand. But yeah, Cinderace is going to take number 12. All right, number 11 is Blissey. So Blissey's ult's a little weird, but basically what she does is, and it's called Bliss Assist Ints. I know, it should have just been Bliss Assist, but I don't know why they had to add the Bliss Assistance, whatever. But anyway, so the way this works is it's a single target ult. It only targets one of your teammates. And basically, you dash to your teammate and give them a shield that you also give yourself a shield. And then they also get this little egg shield. That little egg shield is going to actually take any damage they receive and spread some of it back to you, which is good. I mean, you're pretty tanky. You got a lot of healing, right? So it's going to allow you to kind of share some of that damage to help keep that teammate alive. So if you have a teammate that's right about to die in the middle of a fight, you can save that teammate's life and keep them in the fight, which is super valuable. And as you see in the clip here, anybody between you and the teammate, as you go in, you will deal damage to that person. And I'll tell you what, the number of surprise kills that I've gotten with this ultimate, dashing through walls to go save my teammates, is brilliant, man. It's such a fun ultimate to move. I've killed a Dreadnought with it before. I've killed a Zapdos with it before. Like, it's so much fun to just come flying in like I don't know, like a bomber just to go save your teammates. So Bliss Assist is a really fun ultimate to use, and actually very good, because if you can keep your key teammates in the fight for just a little bit longer, your Cinderaces, your Greninjas, whoever they may be. I mean, it can win you the entire game. Okay. Now, finally, into the top 10 best Unite moves in Pokemon Unite. And this one made me a little happier. Number 10, Mr. Mime. So Mr. Mime, as you guys know, is probably my other favorite character. Not count Greninja way up there, like, what, rank 19? So Mr. Mime's Unite move is awesome. So you basically push a button, and then you kind of jump to an area, and then everybody in that area, you will be dealing damage and stunning for, like, micro stuns, right? Which can interrupt their moves. It can really just kind of annoy the crap out of them as well. So fantastic move. Gives you this crazy stunning effect, lasts for a few seconds, and actually deals decent damage as well, as you guys can see in the clip. So Mr. Mime, fantastic, fantastic Unite move. One of the best in the game, just because it hits so many things, and the disruption is super annoying. It's super annoying because, again, it gives you those micro stuns, which really does stop your opponent from being able to run, being able to do a lot of things. So Mr. Mime, awesome, awesome, awesome Unite move. All right, number 9 is basically the same Unite move as Mr. Mime, is Mamoswine. So Mamoswine does the exact same thing, basically, as Mr. Mime. He just does it a little differently and deals a little bit more damage back-weighted on his final hit. So basically, he jumps to a location, jumps around for a bit like a big old mammoth, and disrupts people, right? So he's going to do the same thing where they're going to be able to, like, not move as much, and their movement speed is also going to be decreased so they can't run away. And then your final one is going to just kind of throw people away. Again, I think it's tough. It's a toss-up. Like, I could really see Mr. Mime or Mamoswine taking that number 9 and 10 place, just because the ultimates are so similar in the way they actually play out in practice. Like, you'd use them both in the same fights, the same circumstances, the same team fights. That's when they're both going to be good. I prefer Mr. Mime's a little bit, but I don't know. I had a lot of people tell me I was a little extra biased, so Mamoswine came at 9, and Mr. Mime came at 10. So I lost that argument. But again, they're very close. They're very close. All right, number 8, Wigglytuff. So Wigglytuff's Unite move is called Starlight Recital. And what this is going to do is it's basically just going to give a shield to you. It's going to give a shield to your teammates, prevent them from getting status conditions, making them immune to hindrances. It's basically just going to stop all of your teammates from getting any stuns, getting tossed at all. It doesn't sound that good on paper, but being immune to poison, being immune to freeze, being immune to burns, being immune to stuns, being immune to sleep, like all of these crazy things, and getting a shield, which is, a shield is always good. Don't get me wrong. It's just super valuable. So it just makes your entire team tankier, and it makes it so your entire team cannot be stunned out of whatever they're doing. It means that they can't stun lock your Absol out of using its ultimate. They can't stun your Charizard out of using its flamethrower. So a lot of really good stuff here. It's very simple ultimate. You pop it and you're just kind of running around singing. But it also, with its move, you can just immediately start going off and using Sing again. You can immediately start going off and using Double Slap again. So it's a good move, and it really does, even though it doesn't seem like it does a lot, it really does make a huge difference in team fights. So number 8 will go to Wigglytuff, as much as I despise the Pink Menace. All right, so Unite move number 7 is going to be Zeraora, which out of all of the derpy I push button ideal damage ultimates, Zeraora's got to have the best. It's a sure hit. So even if you're really, really, really bad at this game, you literally cannot miss with Zeraora's ultimate. It will literally, just like Pikachu's Electro Ball, follow you around corners and hit you, right? So again, that makes it incredibly good, especially for new players. That's why I say all the time Zeraora is a great character for new players to learn. But basically, a Plasma Gale, then after you do that, after it hits them and gets rid of like half their HP bar because it does an absurd amount of damage, then they basically leaves behind this little blue circle, and anybody stuck in that circle will be paralyzed, right? And then when you're inside that circle, you're going to have basic attack range damage up and damage dealt, which means basically you hit this person with your Unite move, then you run into the circle, they're paralyzed, and now you're hitting them harder with your normal attacks. And you probably have Discharge up to deal damage as well. So like, he's just his ultimate, if it hits you, if it catches you in a dark alley alone, you're dead. You're dead. There's basically nothing you can do with most characters that are going to save you from this ultimate. It deals so much damage, and it can, like, plus having the circle up, plus having Discharge up, you can definitely wipe an entire team with this. You know, I've seen it happen. Zeraora's ultimate is definitely a threat, and it's one of those things you never want to see. Like, if you see it and you're in the middle of a team fight, just try and run. Get as far away as you can for just a sec till it hits you. Then you lose half your HP bar, and then you try and get back in the fight. So it doesn't, all the paralysis doesn't affect your teammates, and the Zeraora doesn't get that free circle where he does extra damage. All right, so number 6 on our list is going to be the one, the only, the Charizard. And yeah, so Charizard's great, man. Like, his ultimate has gotten a recent change to where now he does his slam first, and then he does his fire breath, as we can see in the clip. But basically, the way that's going to do is he's going to pick somebody up, slam him to the ground, deal damage, and then he's going to fly, which means he can go over walls, anything like that. And his basic attacks are going to be dealing more damage. He's going to leave people burned with his basic attacks. And he's going to recover HP this whole time. So basically, Charizard's annoying. His ultimate deals damage right off the bat and takes somebody out of the fight for a second. And then you just get to do all this free damage, right, while you're healing. So you're taking, like, no damage. And Charizard's already tanky. So basically, to be super, super annoying for a while, super hard to kill, soak up a bunch of damage, and deal a bunch of damage at the same time. So Charizard's ultimate is huge. And it really makes such a huge difference in the team fight because it's so hard to kill a Charizard during his ultimate. And again, a lot of team fights you want to end as quickly as possible. A lot of characters deal a lot of damage really fast. Charizard's a hard character to do that too. All right. Next, we've got Crustle for number 5 in our top 5 Unite moves now. So Crustle, pretty insane, man. So his Unite move is Rubble Rouser, which basically just makes him unkillable. That's about it. And it also, when you use it, it makes nearby people stun for a second. And if people attack you, it can deal additional hits to everybody else. Like, it kind of reflects some damage. Like, not only that, but like it stacks with Score Shield. Meaning that if you ever just need to score, you just pop your ultimate, and then you just walk up to any goal you want, and then you just score, because nobody can deal enough damage to break your ultimate. And while they're trying to break your ultimate, they're taking damage themselves. So it's basically, I have a score button. Yeah, Crustle's insane, man. Crustle's insane. His ultimate just has so much tanky factor. It just means you're not killing it in the middle of a team fight, which is not dying is pretty cool. You stack that with Score Shield or Buddy Barrier, like, you're just invincible for a while, man. You get like so much HP out of it. It's absolutely brutal. So Crustle definitely earns number 5. He basically becomes unkillable. And unlike Snorlax, he actually stays in the fight, right? He can keep using his moves. He can keep contributing to the team. He can score versus Snorlax, who kind of just falls asleep. Like, which is the most Snorlax thing you could possibly do. So I understand, buddy. I understand. All right. Number 4, we have Sylveon, the newest comer to the group, and it seems to be that when they release a new Pokemon, they want people to buy it, so they make it really strong and they give it really good move. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Sylveon's is stupid. It's not as stupid as if you guys have been paying attention to another new character that we haven't talked about yet, but it's stupid. So basically, you jump in the air, become invincible. Already a great start. Any Unite move that makes you invincible is great. Then you land, you deal damage to other Pokemon, and then restore HP, right? And then for a period of time after, you get HP drain. So any damage you deal, you get to live more. So if you're about to die, basically this is how this works. You're about to die in a team fight. You pop your ultimate, deal a bunch of damage to the enemy team, and then you just hyper voice them and get a bunch of your HP back. So like, you'll come through a team fight where you're about to die, and then you'll swing it around and you'll have like all your health back. Like, Sylveon's ridiculous. It does a great amount of damage, and the amount of HP drain that you get is kind of stupid. So Sylveon probably will be getting a nerf, I imagine, because it seems a little strong. But we'll see, man. We'll see. It could, they want it to be strong, right? It's expensive. It's like one of the most expensive characters in the game you can buy. So it's not gonna get nerfed until everybody buys it, right? That's how you make money. Whatever, man. Sylveon, number 4. Number 3, Gardevoir. And I love this Unite move. It's just like Zarya's Unite move in Overwatch. It basically puts out a little black hole and sucks everybody into it. This is so huge because even in a one-on-one fight like we see here, just being able to get your own future sights off to reset your own future sights or Psyshocks is huge because Gardevoir does such an insane amount of damage. So if you can guarantee with Gardevoir that everybody's going to be in one compact little spot, just with your own future sight, you're going to deal a bunch of damage. And that doesn't include every single one of your teammates' AoE moves. This is the one move that can wipe an entire team like this in the middle of a team fight, right? So at a big Zapdos fight, Gardevoir's Unite move can get everybody packed in, and then all of your teams just launches their AoE moves, and GG, you win. Gardevoir has the power to completely swing a match like that, and because of that, it's going to be number 3. I mean, we all know how good Zarya's ultimate is in Overwatch, right? Same thing here. You like, just like Zarya, you put everybody in one spot, and then you follow up with a move that just kills them all. Like, what is it? Hanzo's arrow, right? It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. All right, number 2, the second best ultimate in the game goes to my favorite little Cramorant pelican duck bird. Actually, this is kind of funny. So I looked it up. There's actually a bird called a Cramorant. It's a real bird. Like, here's a picture of this thing. Like, its name is exactly the same. I thought it was like a pelican or a duck at first. Nah, dude, it's literally this bird called a Cramorant or a Cramorant or whatever, however you pronounce it. But it's literally just a normal bird. Like, they literally just took a bird and made it a Pokemon. They didn't change its name. So that's pretty funny. But again, this ultimate is stupid. It's one ultimate, just like Gardevoir, can swing an entire game and easily wipe an entire team. Easily. You just post up in the grass, pop up an energy amplifier, pop up a buddy barrier if you need it. You sit in the grass and kill their whole team as long as you position yourself correctly. The way that it works, just like you see in the clip, is just going to fire your little gulp missiles at absolutely everybody in the area, and it's brutal, man. It just obliterates people. It just obliterates people. You can't do anything else while you're using it, but why would you want to? All right. Last but not least, another one of our new characters, Blastoise. Blastoise is dumb, dude. Like, so I'll play the clip here too, but it's called Hydro Typhoon. He spins around, deals an ungodly amount of damage, throws everybody up in the air to stun them for a bit, and just because that wasn't enough, it has an inherent shield. Everybody else has to run a buddy barrier just to get a shield, except Wigglytuff, I guess. But he just gets it. He just gets it, man. I guess Crustle too. He just gets a shield. And does a ridiculous amount of damage. Damage that, like, main DPS characters want to do. And it's super easy to aim, so... Blastoise's ultimate is definitely the most broken in the game. Tons of damage, survivability, easy to use, easy to hit, great range, swing an entire team fight. Blastoise. Super duper broken. Alright, guys, but that is it for the list. Let me know what you guys think. Is there one that I rated too low or too high? Also, let me go ahead and pop up the tier list image here real quick for you guys. So I didn't put a ton of time into this tier list. This is just, I took, since there's 25 Pokemon, I put the 5 lowest, right? And then, so we have our D, C, B, A, and S tier of just the top 5, then 5 to 10, or 6 to 10, then 11 to 15, all that good stuff, right? So that's just how I did it here. So don't just take this tier list with a grain of salt. This is mostly meant to be a ranking video and not a tier list video. But I know some people like to just take a screenshot of something to have handy. So there you guys go. There's a tier list where I just put those same rankings in a nice little square for you. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this video. I'm still working on a video of the best items and best moves for every single Pokemon. That problem is that information is constantly evolving when people discover new stuff. So that video is actually pretty hard to make, it turns out. But hopefully this holds you guys over and answers the question of who's got the best Unite move in Pokemon Unite. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and if you guys would like to see more Pokemon Unite live streams and content, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, everybody.